From the 2013 International CES in Las Vegas, this is another Into Tomorrow ITTV special report.
And today we're talking about the Panasonic GH3. The GH3 is our first official attempt at addressing the professional photographer's needs for photography in a mirrorless interchangeable lens camera. So in the past we had a camera called the GH2, which a lot of pro videographers were using, but it wasn't really intended for pros. It was a plastic body, it's lacking a lot of features they wanted, but the video was so amazing they had to use it. So we took their feedback and the feedback of professional photographers and we put it into this unit. Now the first thing that people will notice is it's a little bit bigger than a traditional mirrorless camera. And that's because pros want big, heavy bolstered grips that are going to feel right in the hand, and they need a lot more buttons on the outside because there's functions they just have to have access to, like their white balance setting and their exposure and their ISO settings. This camera has 7 different programmable function buttons on the back of the camera on top of that because it's a little larger. Photographers are rough on their cameras, so this is a magnesium alloy body to allow them to be rough with it, and it's weather sealed. So when you combine it with this lens, the 12 to 35 millimeter or our 35 to 100 millimeter, those lenses are weather sealed too. So now if you have light rain, you got snow, you're going to be able to still use your camera and you're not going to be without your ability to shoot it. We added a PC port, which allows you to set up a studio lighting rig, and this will fire your strobes for you. So great for pros who have a studio set up at the house or are planning on using a PC port out in the field. Now, we haven't forgotten videographers. We know where we got our bread and butter from.
Thanks.
So when it comes to videographers, they care about things like the data rate. How good is this video going to look? Well, this camera can shoot up to a 72 megabit data rate, which frankly is perfectly acceptable for places like BBC. This will work for professional videography. And frankly, at 200 inches and above, still looks stunning at that kind of a data rate. We've added things like, we have 24p video, we have 30p video, and we have 1080p at a full 60 frames a second with the camera. We've also included features like a time code. So I can have 3 cameras on a shoot and have all the time codes synced, so when I have to bring them into my editing suite, I just drag them into my timeline, and each of them is perfectly synced so that my voice matches my mouth, so it doesn't look like a Godzilla movie every time I'm recording something. We've added a 3.5-inch microphone jack, so you can use just about any mic that's out there, although we have a really cool shotgun mic that's a combo shotgun stereo array. So you can use it for shotgun, and then you can switch to the stereo array to capture ambient audio. We have a headphone jack so you can monitor your recording, and you can do level adjustments on the fly. So I know those of you who aren't pros are probably head spinning right now out there, but every pro out there right now is going, this is definitely a camera I should consider for my next video shoot.
So obviously it uses the LUMIX lenses that Panasonic has available, as well as other manual lenses too, right?
Well, it's fully compatible with our 16 lenses, plus Olympus's 11 lenses for their micro four thirds cameras. But because we've pulled the DSLR mirror out of it, I can use just about any manual lens that's ever been manufactured. So if I want to shoot Nikon glass, I can buy a little Nikon adapter. I want to go ahead and shoot Leica lenses, I can throw a Leica adapter on there, no problem. There are even adapters available from companies like Red Rock that will allow you to use your Canon lenses, which have these funny apertures that have to be digitally or electronically controlled. The Red Rock adapters will actually control aperture for you as well. So there's really almost no lens that isn't compatible with the GH system. Now, I will admit they're manual though. They do have to be manually focused and manually exposed, but they will work, and they'll work beautifully.
What about video output? HDMI, is it full HDMI?
It's an HDMI output. It can be what's called a clean HDMI out, which means I can get rid of all the overlays and graphic stuff, so I can record it directly to a Ninja or some other recording device. It is a 420 chroma sampling for the HDMI output.
And what is the price range on it?
This camera would be a bargain at $3,000. I got to throw my Ron Popeil stuff in there, but this camera is going to sell for $1299 body only.